Hello and welcome to another edition of For the Record. I'm Sean Murphy. My guest today is Mary Caswell. She is the Administrative Director for First Star URI Academy. It is her first time on the show, so welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it.
Let's get started with sort of a definition, background for First Star URI Academy. What is it?
It's a program that recognizes that kids in foster care need some extra support to possibly get to college. Fewer than 3% of kids in foster care ever make it to graduation from college. And about 4 years ago, a producer from Hollywood, Peter Samuelson, decided that he wanted to reverse that trend. And he started a program out at UCLA called the UCLA Bruins Academy. They identified 25 students, rising 8th graders who were in foster care. They brought them to the UCLA campus. They exposed them to everything college had to offer. They also had some enrichment courses, including a cooking class taught by Mario Batali. And they explained to the kids, this is what it takes to go to college, and we're going to follow you for 4 years to make sure you get there. One of their sponsors was Hasbro, the toy company. And as you know, Hasbro is housed in Rhode Island. And the vice president of Hasbro, Karen Davis, saw the program and said, why can't we replicate this back in Rhode Island? And so she brought the idea to President David Dooley at URI and Vice President Tom Dugan. They both said, yes, this is a great program, let's do it. And so with the help of the Rhode Island Department of Children, Youth and Families and its director Janice DeFrancis, they brought the program to URI in the summer of 2012. There were 22 students at the time. They took three one-credit college courses. They took enrichment classes. They enjoyed recreational activities at the university. They lived in a fraternity. They ate in a dormitory. And we continued to meet with the kids once a month on Saturdays, and we had our second program in the summer of 2013, and we're gearing up for our third program summer of 2014.
Now, you started at UCLA. Was URI literally the second university that adopted it? Because yes. I know it's in more than, it's spread a
yes.
lot now, but URI
was the second alone, and then this past summer, the University of Connecticut at Storrs added a program, and George Washington University in DC also added a program.
So we know it's not, because one thing I asked you off the air was, is this for state-supported schools, and not necessarily, right?
Not necessarily. It's whatever college wants to take the step and offer their services. It's a great partnership. URI offers us space at the university. They offer us a lot of academic supports for the kids. And as I said, we use the pool, the hockey rink, the gym courts, the athletic equipment. We also visit various departments at the school so that the kids can see about different majors, and so it's a good partnership. We also partner with Adoption Rhode Island in Providence, and as I said, the Rhode Island Department of Children, Youth and Families.
How was it that a producer in Hollywood was the first one to decide, I think this is a good idea, let's try this?
Well, Peter had started a foundation prior to this called the Starlight Foundation, and
that's familiar.
He decided that disadvantaged kids needed some extra help, and he provided a lot of legal support as well as academic and educational support for these kids. He got together a kind of an illustrious group of people to support him.
You mean from Hollywood,
from
LA?
Hollywood area, yeah. And he started this program, and then as the program grew, he started to see a need to help kids in foster care.
Wow. And it really did grow. And you can maybe, I don't know, maybe understand like a big city or that atmosphere out there, sort of a test ground for it. But it was successful enough where, started with Rhode Island and then other schools as well, said, hey, this is a good idea, let's go. And maybe, depending on your situation in Rhode Island or Connecticut or anywhere, tweak it a little bit to make it more appropriate for your needs and your state and you know, the clientele that you would be working with.
Absolutely. In Rhode Island, obviously, we're close to the beaches, and we have the kids working over at the School of Oceanography. We've also partnered with some of the other universities in the state. Roger Williams University, our kids worked with some of their students, and they could perform some community service activities. A professor from Bryant University came in and taught a storytelling class to our kids, which resulted in the book, Peek Into My Pain, Reveal My Strength. Dr. Sandra Enos was the professor, and she's actually coming back this summer to do an oral history class with the kids. And they wrote about their experiences in foster care. And what we also are teaching them, as well as what it takes to get to college through the college application process, getting good grades, learning about majors, minors, financial aid, we are also teaching them to be advocates for themselves. And one of the things that came out of the book were the top 10 reasons that DCYF and others should listen to us. And they participated in a congressional listening tour under the auspices of Congressman Jim Langevin's office. And they started to say, listen to us. We don't want to keep changing schools when we have to change placements. We'd like to see our families more often if that's possible. Please listen to us. And so we're teaching them to become self-advocates.
So politicians got involved in this too. And
Absolutely.
lobbying was done to them, or they did on behalf of
all foster kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow,
It
that's
was
great.
It was great.
I mean, it's good for them. It's good publicity for them, if nothing else. But there actually is, if they looked into it a little bit more, they would discover that there actually is a need for it, and it's a great cause, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What else is in this book?
Well, Peter Samuelson wrote a foreword to the book, as did some of our members of our board of directors, Darlene Allen from Adoption Rhode Island, Karen Davis from Hasbro, Matt Kalina from Identity Theft 911. He's also one of our board of directors and sponsors. And then the kids wrote personal stories of, obviously the names have been changed for protect confidentiality. They also wrote about what the First Star Academy has meant to them over the years. We had a book launch at Books on the Square in Providence last month, and it was standing room only, and they read excerpts from the book and
It's almost like a
answered
poetry
questions.
reading in a
It
way.
was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was so inspirational.
In front of a large crowd?
Yes,
Yeah.
many more people than we thought were originally coming.
Is the book available for anybody?
The book is available, and you can check our website. It will tell you how you can get a copy of the book. We've sent the book to Peter Samuelson and to the other First Star Academy sites so that their students can see what our students wrote about. And as I said, we're looking forward to doing an oral history project where our students, the First Star Academy students, will interview adults who have already been through the foster care system and try to glean some ideas of how they can help.
What to do, what not to do.
Exactly, yes.
What was Peter's reaction to this sort of a gone viral sort of a thing that's happened here, in a good way?
He wants 100 academies in 10 years.
Wow.
He's got a lofty goal. There are a few in the works right now.
Does he take an active interest in that?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
He's actually called. He sends us emails. He follows our Facebook page. So yes, he does. He's an inspiration.
What little things have you learned and to do and not to do? Like we talked about tweaks that you would do differently, that UConn would do differently from what they would do out at UCLA and any other Institute of Higher Learning that's adopted this program.
Well, again, in Rhode Island, we access some of the different universities and colleges in the state. We also, as I said, worked with the School of Oceanography. We took the kids to the beach.
UConn
and
has
believe it
a
or
big
not,
oceanography
Yes.
as well.
And we took the kids to the beach, and believe it or not, some of them had never been to the beach.
No kidding.
Also in Rhode Island, we took tours of Hasbro. We visited the mayor of Providence. We took a tour of the State House. We've been going on campus tours on our Saturday sessions, and we also exposed them to cultural events. We visited Newport mansions, museums. We attended the Christmas Carol play at Trinity Square Repertory Theater. We also did some community service, and we attend some basketball and football games at
Sure.
different colleges. So
Right. That's a part of college life. So
That
why not have them experience as much of college life as possible? right?
absolutely.
The students that participate in the program, are they students that would have an aptitude toward going to college in the first place, or might it be students that might be struggling a little bit, but maybe you, with your help, can kind of push them toward a college life?
That's a good question. It's a mix. It's absolutely a mix. We have students who are behind grade level with reading and math, and we try to offer additional supports for that. We'll be hiring some high school teachers to help us with that this summer. And we also have some students who are, above average
Right.
in everything, and we push them a little more.
And even a student that may, decide maybe not to pursue college, maybe this, going through this can better them in some other way, even if they, choose to go right into the workforce, but maybe somehow better their life because of this?
I think so. We have one young man who's very interested in automotive.
Right.
And we had taken him to New England Tech. We wanted him to see that. But if not, I think we've made him a better-rounded person. He's, you know, more culturally aware, educationally aware. He's got a lot of confidence, I think, as a result of this program.
Is there like a little, if someone isn't quite ready for college, is there anything that kind of helps them just a little bit, maybe just get over the edge, or maybe you might suggest that they go into more of a trade vocation? How does that work?
Well, we're at that point now. We have 5 students who are juniors.
Okay.
They're getting ready to take the Scholastic Aptitude Test. We've been taking them, as I said, on tours of other campuses, working with them to find out what is it exactly you're interested in, and we will help you get there. And if they're not quite sure, we are recommending the community college route first.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
yeah.
and then they could transfer. As a matter of fact, we will be touring the Community College of Rhode Island next week with the students.
Someone else here in the building, I heard you chatting with somehow they can actually earn some college credit for what
Yes,
they do?
in the summer we have, for the past 2 summers, we've offered 3 one-credit college courses. And these include a media literacy class where we've taught them videography, how to make a video and edit it. It's great, particularly for the students who have to do senior projects or capstone projects to graduate. So they learned how to make a blog. They took a class in cultural competency, and they talked about stereotypes. And they also took a class in peace and nonviolent studies, and they learned a lot about mediating disputes. And I think that was very helpful to us for the 4 weeks we were living at URI.
And and you said college credit, so that for the majority of the colleges would accept that as a credit,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Wow.
And believe it or not, 100% of the kids receive B-minuses or better
That's
on the courses.
fantastic.
Yeah, we were thrilled with that.
Now, conversely, you had mentioned to me off the air that UConn, one little difference about their approach is kids that might be struggling in high school that might not necessarily be appropriate for college, that their classes would, I don't want to use the term remedial, but just in that vein.
I call it ramping up.
Ramping up, that's
ramping up, just to make sure over the summer that they don't lose any of the skills they may have learned in high school the previous year. So we bring in some high school teachers who know the standards, who know what's expected, what the kids have to learn by the end of 10th grade, 11th grade, and we're going to be doing the same. UConn has done that. We're going to be doing more of that next summer.
We're going to take a break and come back. I want you to give out the website so people can go to it and learn a little bit more until we come back. What is it?
It's web.uri.edu/First Star URI Academy.
And we'll make it easy for people. There's a graphic up on the screen, too. So we will take a break. Mary Caswell is the Administrative Director for First Star URI Academy. We'll be back. I'm Sean Murphy. This is For the Record. Stay with us. Welcome back to For the Record. I'm Sean Murphy. My guest today is Mary Caswell, spelled Mary as in like Merry Christmas, correct?
Yes, correct.
The Administrative Director for First Star URI Academy. What are the duties of the Administrative Director?
Part of my duties include working with the kids. Obviously, that's my favorite part of the job. But
Most rewarding.
That is.
Yeah.
It is the most rewarding. And but the other duties include fundraising,
Right.
setting up field trips, enrichment activities, working with the URI staff to set up our summer program, where we're going to live, what we're going to eat, what's going to happen while we're there, hiring URI student mentors who work with the kids in the summer. And answer questions about what it really is like about college.
Let's talk about fundraising for a second, because we're, I guess what you would say, out of the recession that we've been in for a while. And I would imagine during that time, as in any time, it's difficult requesting funds. How are you funded, and how difficult was it during that time?
Well, when I came on board, Hasbro, as I mentioned before, was very interested in the program, and they are our most generous funder.
What is the advantage for them to be involved in this? Is it just publicity, or do they honestly believe?
They honestly believe in
Okay.
it, and they're also involved with a project called Generation On, which is a program online students can access that offers them opportunities to do community service and to help to give back. Right. And so that is also a part of our program, Generation On. But Hasbro obviously is a toy company, and it appeals to kids, and so they're all about kids.
Right.
And this is one of the many programs that they support.
So as far as back to the fundraising, difficult for you?
Well, Hasbro, as I said, is our most generous supporter. CVS Caremark, MetLife, Providence Journal, Trimix Foundation, Identity Theft 911, Bristol County Savings
You
Bank.
got good
I mean,
organizations.
we seek out people, and we've also had the program evaluated, and we see success. As I mentioned, 100% of the kids passed their college courses. 100% of the kids said, I learned a lot about college and I feel better prepared. So, you know, we're starting to see some results. And as our kids apply to college and get accepted to college, and never mind that, just get there and graduate, that would be the true success. So we're always looking for sponsors, donors. We get gifts in kind from different organizations as well.
Individuals?
Yes, individuals have donated to the program. Former foster children have donated to the program. So, you know, just check our website. It will direct you on how you could help too.
How are the actual college students that are on campus, what is their reaction to this as they interact a little bit? Because you want your kids to have as much of the college experience as they can experience. What about the regular kids on campus? What is their role, or how do they react?
They love working with the kids, yes. Matter of fact, almost all of the ones who worked the first year wanted to come back and work the second year.
No kidding.
And I was able this year to also provide stipends to them to work with us on our Saturday program. So they help chaperone, and just the interaction between them. They'll say, well, what was it like? Is it hard? You know, what are the courses like? Do you have to get up this early? And you know, our First Star kids really don't like getting up in the morning in the summer
Who does?
and going to classes. And the college kids would say, oh no, you have to. And they say, you have to walk all this way across the campus. They just can't believe it.
Yeah, that's college life,
right?
That's
college life.
And
yes.
as an extension to that, I ask about the students. How about the professors and the administration?
Oh, the professors have been wonderful.
Yeah.
You know, very understanding of the kids. You know, and they're adapting their classes to fit the needs of the kids. Particularly in the cultural competency class, that Professor Lynn Derbyshire did a marvelous job of working a freshman level class to meet the needs of our high school students.
You mentioned other universities that are adopting similar programs, UConn and URI and George Washington? Of course, it started with UCLA. Are there any other institutes of higher learning that have approached you just to kind of inquire, ask questions, and consider maybe adopting similar programs?
Well, actually, Rhode Island College has called me because they have a sociology program, a master's program.
And they're right down the road, right?
And, you know, we use a lot of the social workers from Adoption Rhode Island to work with our students to provide counseling and support to them. So a partnership with Rhode Island College would be, I think, a smart move on our part. There are other colleges. A professor from a college in Florida, and the name of the school escapes me right now, but she has called asking for information. I do know that Peter has mentioned there's Loyola University is interested in starting a program, and possibly a school in New Jersey. So.
And he wants 100 in what, in the next
10 years.
10 years, 100. So they're gonna have to get going if they really want that dream to.
Yes.
So let's get into a little bit more of the specifics. You know, some things like enrichment class. What is that exactly?
Well, during the course of the week, as I mentioned, they take the 3 one-credit college courses. They also take high school readiness, high school preparation, college prep course. And we go over SAT vocabulary lists. We talk to them a little bit about what to expect on the PSAT, SAT. We talk to them about the college application process. But you can't give them all academic classes all day long.
Right.
They're kids.
Right.
So we had recreational activities and enrichment activities. The enrichment activities included 4 choices. They could choose a photography class, a culinary arts class, an art class, and a rap music class.
Really? Well, if you're targeting the kids, that's what they like,
That's what they
right?
like.
Yeah.
And as a result, the art students made masks, and the mask had to have something to do with their inner self. The photography students took pictures of a lot of the events during the 4 weeks, and also learned a lot about light when you're taking a picture, and how to set it up, and
that's a lot
get
to
rid
learn,
of red eye and things
Yeah.
like that. The culinary arts students learned how to make lobster.
Wow.
Macaroni and cheese, that was one of the things they wanted to.
Two opposite ends of the spectrum there, kind of.
But they also made a dinner for the local homeless shelter and brought it over to them. And the rap music made a rap which is on our website. You can watch the kids performing it on stage with a terrific beat about First Star URI Academy.
The majority of the kids, since they're foster kids, is it from obviously broken families? Is it lower income families, or is it a broad spectrum
broad spectrum.
Economic?
It's economic. It's also death. I mean, some of them, their parents have passed away. It's students whose parents, a few may be incarcerated, a few may be, just not able physically to take care of their children. And some of them have contact with their parents, some don't. Some of them are in what they call kinship care. A relative is taking care of them. Some of them reside in group homes, and some of them are in stable foster home environments.
Tell me about quantum learning. What is that?
Quantum Learning is a national program. It's based out of California. We had researched it. We had heard about it. It also goes into college campuses. And we hired them to come out for 1 week for a very high energy, intense session with our kids. And the kids took this 3 times a day. But it was about study skills, about how to get organized, about learning about what type of a learner you really are and what would work best for you when you want to study. Our kids loved it. When they ended the week with Quantum Learning, they actually karate chopped boards. And on these boards, they had written all the barriers that might be there for their learning. And they had a ball. They had a ball with Quantum Learning, yes.
One of the things that I would imagine potential college students would be concerned about is tuition. Do you help in any way, at least steering them in the direction to know where to apply for any kind of financial aid, scholarships, things like that?
Yes, we will. We will be doing that more with our juniors. But because they are in foster care, the Department of Children, Youth, and Families does have an office that takes care of looking into that for them. And also, if they decide to go to a state school in Rhode Island, they'll receive some assistance.
Right. And, and the thing we talked about, like George Washington, it's not just state-supported schools that are involved in this type of program. Private schools as well.
That's correct.
Wow.
That's correct.
It's good stuff. Word of the day. Let's talk about the word of the day.
Well, the word of the day we introduced on the first day of the camp last summer, and they were words such as university, college. What's the difference between a university and a college? What does credit mean? What's the difference between a fraternity and a sorority? We were actually housed in a fraternity house.
Right, and they got that college experience.
And now they could talk the talk as well. So and then we gave them a quiz at the end, and we gave out some prizes, some URI T-shirts and hats and things, and beach towels. And so they were all excited because they felt like college kids.
Yeah. And speaking of being excited, it can't just all be about sitting in the classroom and learning and academics. There's got to be some let loose time. You got to be able to go on field trips and stuff like that. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, we did. We took them on at least 1 or 2 field trips a week. We visited Mystic Aquarium nearby. We visited, as I mentioned, the Newport Mansions. We visited other college campuses. We went to this university, the Oceanography School as a field trip. We went to the URI Agriculture Center, and they got to see all of the animals for the students who might be interested in veterinary science. We've gone on several field trips with the kids. They enjoy that. They're well behaved. They represent us well. We're happy about that. After we talk to them that you have to conduct yourselves like college students now. We're going to think, talk, act like college students.
Does there occasionally have to be like a little discipline kind of a rib just to kind of keep everybody on the same page?
Obviously, when you have 25 high school students together, and it's almost like sibling rivalry in a family. They're jockeying for good positions with certain mentors or with the director. And my background as a middle school principal served me well in that capacity.
So you have the ruler and you do the nothing like that. That's too far back. That's too far back.
Yeah.
So what's next? What's the next thing? Do you want to expand the programs that are available? What can be next?
Well, URI's program is a little different than UCLA's in that they identified their 25 students, and they've just continued with those 25 students for the last 3 years. They'll be graduating, so UCLA will be taking a new cohort. We, on the other hand, took 20 students the first year, 22 actually. We ended with 22, decided to not continue. We took a second cohort this past year, and we're considering taking a third cohort.
Gotcha.
A lot of it will depend on our funding, how many can we afford, and also the housing at URI where we could fit.
And how does UConn differ from URI since we're in the
Well,
neighborhood?
they're in their second group now, and they're considering taking a second cohort, I believe, as well.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, this is exciting, and it's relatively new. People are learning about it now.
Yes.
The website one more time.
It's web.uri.edu/First Star URI Academy.
Mary Caswell is the administrative director for First Star URI Academy, and we learned a lot today. It was a pleasure having you on the show.
Thanks for letting me highlight the program.
And thank you for joining us for another edition of For the Record. You can see this show and many others on our YouTube site. In the meantime, take care.